So basically, I told you guys the gist of it. And okay, so this video was 6 months ago. So we're gonna watch that real fast. Yep. Again, this dude is really fucking weird.
I know, I've done way too many videos about VTubers lately. I'm acting like a VTuber addict that would take out a mortgage just for another hit. That hit being donating to their streams with zero acknowledgement. And then you quickly have a mental breakdown, get another Oshi, or find another VTuber to idolize, and delete that Word document with every single bit of information on them from their blood type to their birth date, and then rinse and repeat. But just give me one more day, one more video. This is the last one. Till some absolutely diabolical law drops, because for some reason it's always the VTubing community that apparently attracts the worst of humanity, like a fucking COD Zombies monkey bomb, probably because you can say whatever you want under the disguise of an animated character, and you can still farm around about the same views as someone with a face cam, because they can somewhat still see you and your reactions. You're just an animated character. But I'm not going to go on my usual spiel. I'm going to keep things short and tight to things bad dragon collectors don't know about. Once again, weird hobby, some people collect rocks, but you collect things that even your pancreas can say hello to. But a hobby is a hobby, anyway. But this is somewhat of a conclusion to a story I've been tracking since August 1st, 2024, and in the past I've done 2 videos on this person alone. I've also been in contact with the people involved and affected, talking to them every now and again, especially when I remember OBS cockblocks my notifications. But this was all regarding the FalterXV situation. And the last time I spoke about it was about 9 months ago, where litigation and proceedings were starting to take place between this person and their victims, but in the current time frame, it's suffice to say a lot of things have changed. Now quickly, if you don't know who FalterXV is, thank God, because you have been granted the blessing of blissful ignorance.
Recently today, they were
Oh fuck, I'm such a dumbass. Okay, alright, so alright, Twitch, alright, sorry, my bad. Yeah, tell me next time. I'm fucked up. Okay, so alright. So sorry, okay, so Twitch stats. So this is not normal, right? So you have from 0 to 134 instantly, and it stays all the way throughout the stream. That is not fucking normal. And again, he's been doing this since like since like just 2023, I want to say. Twitch doesn't do much about viewbotting. Yeah, a whole bunch of people viewbot, sadly. But yeah, that's not the worst of it.
We're basically posting harassment of me all day long, essentially.
Falter is a self-proclaimed femboy VTuber in their mid-30s that is infamously known in both the VTuber community and many other gaming communities, from games like Elite Dangerous to Destiny. Personally, I thought people stopped playing Destiny when you found out you were only renting the DLCs before it disappeared forever. But with Falter, he has a rather short fuse, to say the least. He will target and harass you if you say anything about him, or if you simply just disagree with him. I'm pretty sure one of his longest conflicts that is still ongoing basically started because...
basically, I literally looked at if this dude's still viewbotting, and like his only chatter was like his mod, and that was it. And that's fucking insane, dude.
One person said they prefer shotguns
I think I'm done, by the way.
on Halo.
Okay, hold on.
Exactly what happened.
You wanna watch this drama slot with me real fast? But yeah, this is just beyond fucked up, I want to say.
Something I would definitely expect from a Destiny player, but the M14 does absolutely clear, so go fuck yourself. And even people that have played games with them without knowing their past, and have only been exposed to them for about 16 minutes, speak out about how terrible that short interaction was. And if you unfortunately land yourself in Falter's sights, you can expect harassment like spamming from bot accounts, endless stories generated about you, from his many confirmed alt accounts, where in most of them they are the victim and they are the one being harassed. In one case they had a physical altercation occur in real life, and they started to spin the story that it was one of their victims that physically assaulted them, but upon each telling of this story he changes the victim that apparently assaulted them. And there's been several retellings of this story with each a different person. And let's not forget about the countless copyright strikes he's sent out, removing most videos about him and spam reporting his victims' profiles across multiple platforms, to the point where those platforms remove their accounts due to the sheer amount of reports sent in. This person is doing a generational run for spamming legal takedowns for some of these people. It got to the point where he copyrighted one of his victims' profile pictures on Twitter, claiming it was his, and it worked. He also took down a post.
Again, like, how I don't understand, dude. He viewbots, harasses people, just doesn't stop no matter what, and DMC's a fucking image. Like, how do you I don't it's I feel like by your 30s you should just like not even do this much. Like, this is a lot of effort to go through just to like take people down off the internet that you don't like. That are small, by the way. They're not even big creators. He's taking down. He's taking down like fucking like nobodies, like small VTubers and everything. It's insane. It's batshit
Going over his
fucking
Destiny
crazy.
2 stat page, and something I've personally never seen before, DMCA'd somebody on Discord. Let me say that again, Discord, and got their account temporarily removed. On top of that, one of these victims has been working on their own book, not related to this whatsoever, and they've actively been claiming things like commissions made for the book, like assets and graphics, claiming it as their own and DMCAing them. So they get banned off the platforms they posted it on and can't spread word about their book. They also previously got banned from YouTube's copyright system, because once again they were blatantly abusing it and also doxing people through the information when they counted it, which they got around quite quickly with another account. They even involved some of their victims in litigation, including one person that wasn't even in the same country, who he got a restraining order against, and with the people that did fight against him in court, he was then banned from the copyright board and submitting copyright requests, of which he apparently got around by using somebody else's name and identity, of which some people believe was his own grandmother, which is also very illegal. Also, in those court documents, he rambles for paragraphs. Even in one, he blames the copyright board directly, and in another case mentions that story about how he got jumped by all his victims, even though most of his victims have never even been in the same state as him. There is no wonder he was banned from the copyright board. In addition, he's harassed many people off the internet, like Rep, who I spoke to before, who has wiped all of their socials and associations.
By the way, this dude has driven 3 people to suicide, and they can back this up. They have, the people have proof about this, like about their obituaries and everything. Yeah.
With their own name, because he just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And there was somebody else that also disappeared and nobody's heard from in a while. He harassed somebody that eventually ended up at a mental institute at one point, and somebody else that was not mentally doing okay and is no longer with us today, of which friends found a public obituary for their name. And there are so many more things this so-called femboy VTuber has done. But we might be coming to the conclusion. The Star Wars Return of the Jedi, if you will. Because we all know there was no sequel that occurred after it. But once again, I jumped into a call with Fliplight, someone that has been the primary target of Falter for years. He's also one of the people that apparently physically assaulted Falter, and is the main antagonist in his fictional stories where he's the victim. The same person who had their book and other works affected directly by said person, and someone who is also a VTuber, and I learned that things actually got somewhat worse surrounding this situation. Hello? So after catching up with Flip a bit, like finding out his book actually did release, and finding out Falter actually went out of their way to buy it so he could post about it on Twitter.
I'm making stuff. I'm doing. I mean, like since we last talked, I put out a book. I have.
Oh, your book
that's
finally went through.
Yeah. It's just one of my short stories. However, what is really funny little thing, he bought my book.
He bought your book?
He bought my book because he made a tweet talking about it. Well, he made mention, and you can't read the last page unless you buy the book.
Okay.
He made mention that I linked the last page.
I'm glad we have good fanboy here. I'm not a fucking fanboy. Hello, Waste.
On the last page.
He didn't.
So he would have had to have bought the book to see that.
That is Division 1 hating at its finest. I also found out that not only did Falter have a copyright case with Flip, not only with Noobster, another person I previously spoke to, he also had one with the VTuber Alara, due to her briefly speaking about him in a video, which he also tried to do through the...
What kind of drama? Because we're watching... Oh my god. My brother quotes that song all the fucking time, Viking, and I hate it. Oh no, dude.
Copyright board and got rejected when he was banned, but he also has another case with the YouTuber VTubing Explained, who also briefly mentioned him a month ago in a video going over various VTuber controversies, and also included 2 other VTubers. I think Falter was in it for like 2 minutes, but this time he didn't go to the copyright board. As said before, he was banned and tried impersonating one of his family members to get around it to no avail. So after being banned from the copyright board, he decided to file it with a local court, and Falter would actually have to fly to where VTubing Explained lived to attend said court case. But the court, as Flip believes, doesn't have the power to manage the copyright case, let alone he doesn't believe Falter is going to turn up, as he has a history of not doing so throughout most of his cases, and even apparently said he would drop the case if the guy paid him $2,000.
To a guy named VTubing Explained, who I actually asked for my permission to talk about with you today, and he said yes. Falter is like banned from the CCB or whatever, as you know. He's banned until next year. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to go directly through the court system now. The issue is he's stupid. And he filed on this guy at, I think it's called the municipal court, which is like a local court, but they don't actually have any jurisdiction over copyright. So that guy's VTuber Explains physically is talking to a lawyer, and the lawyer was like, yeah, no, you're probably going to be okay. Obviously, I can't guarantee anything. But like there's basically no reason it should go through because the court doesn't even have the jurisdiction to be covering this. He also tried to harass the guy to get like $2,000 out of him almost.
Oof.
How?
Like he was like, oh yeah, I'll drop this case if you pay me $2,000.
And he didn't show up to other court cases before.
No, he doesn't show up to most of them. And that's the other problem is with this guy. So like the VTuber Explained guy, Falter would have to go to court with him, and they're states away, like really far away, to be honest with you. So I don't really know if Falter's gonna pay for a plane ticket and show up to court.
But anyway, Falter is supposed to turn up in court in person soon to face VTuber Explained within a local court that might not be able to do anything, as I'm led to believe copyright is more of a federal thing than a local thing, and that's even if he does turn up. Now with the VTuber Alara, Falter wasn't done there either. Even though the copyright case between them was closed, Falter always holds a grudge. And when Flip would attempt to directly...
So why wanted you to say the same thing? I clearly won't show up to court. He doesn't want you to win, he has to pay you. Yeah, I mean, I don't get this dude's logic at all. It's very weird. I mean, he still view bots to this day. Since, again, nobody... Like, what's even sadder is this dude made 3 videos about him, right? Like 3. Okay, let's see. So 152,000 views. What else? Let's see. 729K, 200K. What's sad is no one even like hate watches him. No one even is that invested in just hate watching his shit. It's kind of sad.
Email Falter to release the copyright on one of his YouTube videos, and Flip would receive a very odd email response.
Does it Viewbotting cost money? Yes. So for 50, it costs 25 per week, and like 100 plus is like 35 per week. So
on top of claiming Flip was actually the one false DMCAing people, and conveniently he links all the dockets for the court cases, he would also claim Flip has emailed the wrong person, followed by a first name and surname that doesn't belong to Falter. It belongs to Alara, and this is Falter's email, which, surprise, surprise, is impersonation once again, and can also be considered illegal.
Yeah, it definitely does, Laria. Like that, Twitch does not pay you nearly enough for every week to do that. They pay you monthly, so off a human being. I mean, it's just fucking insane to me that like this guy is like 36 and doing this shit to people. I don't know. I figured that you'd have something better to do, because again, these are like tiny VTubers, and this dude is just going after him like relentlessly.
So he pretends to be her.
I have no idea, Danny.
And this is what his DMCA emails.
He pretends to be Laria. That dude, like, what the fuck, man?
Copyright claim. And then he turns around and says, no, I'm actually this VTuber. Who are you? And then uses their full name.
Oh my god.
One, he also puts my name in there. You know, it's all the same wording, talking about like terrorizing him and all this other stuff. Like, it is Falter. And it's also the email that Falter provides in a bunch of his legal filings.
But why did he involve her in it? Why did he try and act like her when you were messaging him to retract the DMCA?
I do not know, outside the fact that he is ghoulishly evil.
But this actually gets much, much worse. Now, one of the things many people, including the victims of Falter, couldn't really put a pin on was why. Why are they like this? Why do they do what they do? Why do they go out of their way to do what they do?
Again, this dude spends years and years just stirring up. Again, his posts get nothing on Twitter. No one gives a shit of anything he has to say, and it's just why do it? Why keep doing it? It makes no sense to me.
Fraudulent litigation against people after some of these people just simply disagreed with him or just said the things you're doing aren't very kimochi. And on top of that, for better words, he'll just start schizo posting about them. I think he even created an hour-long video about how bad Ringtails is, just for simply calling them out on what they were doing. And even Flip, the person that's been dealing with him for
the
years,
love of the game,
didn't know why he keeps doing this, especially at his age where he should be a grown adult.
I don't know what's wrong with him, but there is very clearly something wrong with him. There is something, he is mentally unwell in some way, and that's not even me just trying to be edgy and insult him. I genuinely think he's mentally unwell.
I just always assumed they were like a deranged troll or something. We even attempted to speak to Falter multiple times and extended an olive branch to try and resolve this situation, and he just refused and doubled down on his Wizard of Oz romantic Wattpad fanfictions about these victims. Attempting to communicate with him is useless, and trying to find out why he does what he does is impossible. Well, it was until Flip found additional court documents for a different case, a case involving his grandmother, the same person he tried to use to skirt around the copyright board, and his own grandmother requested a restraining order against him.
Do you know how unlovable you have to be as a person to get your own grandmother to get a restraining order against you?
And not only was it protecting his grandmother, it was protecting other family members as well, like young kids from 2 to 10, and others like the grandmother's spouse and granddaughter. Now it's important
Oh
to
my
note that the
God.
restraining order never went through, because both the grandmother and Falter did not show up to finalise it. So the courts just dropped the case. Maybe they managed to resolve the issue the two of them were having, and they no longer needed the restraining order or something. But when it was ongoing, a number of statements were made by the grandmother. One of them being the following: "My grandson has mental illness. I started to pay rent on his apartment 2 years ago. Since then, he has become increasingly demanding more and more money, and he's abused my credit card without permission." And then finishes off with, "He has become increasingly verbally abusive and threatening." And there was also an additional statement Flip found. "There is a 20-year history of verbal abusiveness and behavioural problems. The police have been called on numerous occasions when he lived with me in the
feel
past,
bad
as well as when he
for
lived
this woman.
with his parents." It's also stated on his grandmother's card he tried to buy $1,200 worth of goods from Amazon without her permission.
Damn.
So yes, I would say Falter has problems. He needs help. And he needs to not be on the internet, because not only is he causing irreparable damage on the internet, he also allegedly has a history of
You
doing
need
it
to put
in
him into asylum. Better for everyone else. Yeah, it's
his
fucking
own
insane.
personal life, to the point where it affects his family.
He needs to be offline. That's the reality. He needs to be completely offline. It's exactly what I told you the first time we talked. I don't like advocating for the deplatforming of anybody, even people I extremely disagree with. But there's a point where somebody is so potentially hazardous due to the repeated illegalities of breaking DMCA law and IRL harassment that there's a point where you have to go, maybe this guy should not be online anymore.
Can you get a restraining order online against him?
But pay for it how? I mean,
true.
like, that's expensive.
Flip is one of many that deserve to be this angry with Falter.
What is
Not
that box emote?
Not only has he disturbed his work with things like the advertising of his book, claiming assets for the game he's working on even when they have his watermark in the corner, and the removal of multiple accounts across multiple platforms like Twitter, YouTube, and Discord. And the platforms don't really get involved, even though it is blatant abuse of their copyright systems, and all they do is tell Flip to take it to court because they don't want to get involved. But also Flip has lost a lot of friends from this, like with once again Rep, who isn't online anymore. Flip's reputation has also been somewhat smeared by the things Falter says and people believe. He's been doxxed, he's been threatened with his own information, on top of having to deal with most of this counterclaiming and sorting through legal documents in his own spare time whilst he works a full-time job.
I have lost 6 Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
So it takes 6 DMCAs for a Twitter account to go down. That is 36 DMCAs just on me. Not counting the, I think, 5 or 6 YouTube claims.
Oh my god, dude.
And then he's also DMCA'd by Imgur probably about 8 times. And my first account was my biggest, on Twitter at least. My first account on Twitter was the biggest. And that sucked to lose. But like everything after that, it's stressful, but it's more mildly annoying than anything at this point. And like all the false accusations are ridiculous. I don't like being. The problem is he keeps saying things like, "Oh, well, Flip has stabbed me," or "Flip's a homophobe," or "Flip is like all this other shit," and it's like the variety of claims are as numerous as they are ludicrous. There are so many claims that he makes. Oh, the time alone. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. I've probably been dealing with this guy in terms of all the different conversations I've had to do, videos that I've done, legal paperwork, everything else. I guarantee that I have been just dealing with that side of things for at least 500 hours. So, you have a day of peace when you have a day where everything's a fan, and I've just spent 3 hours filling out paperwork, 4 hours filling out fucking paperwork. I'm working on so much of my own stuff right now, and Falter's not my whole life.
Common elite hater, really? I mean, do people actually put in this much work to like see Leaf's potential downfall. Yeah, this is a lot of work, bro, for one person to do, purely because they just hate him.
You know, he's a footnote in my story, and I've got other things that are more important. You know, I got engaged. I'm getting married soon. Like I have other things. You know, the game I'm working on, my book. Like
When
I have other stuff that I have to
got
put
nothing
money
else in his
into
life, I
besides
guess
dealing with
so.
some
Spite
freak
is one
online.
hell of a drug.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, I have lost
I
friends.
mean, dude, I've been like legit. I've been burned before. Like, you know, I've been burned before. Like, you know, I've put my trust into people that didn't like deserve it. I really thought that you know, I was friends with people for like 5 months. We hung out every night, and then some shit happened, and there was this one guy who was secretly shit talking everyone in the group, and then they just kind of left. But it kind of like scarred me because I don't know, I was trying so hard not to fuck anything up, and yet I still kind of got hurt by it. But yeah, to this day, I still don't know why. Like, so again, I just want to be as genuine as I can. You know, I never like shit talk anyone, or like, you know, I don't have like spite in my heart, because I feel like it's way easier to move on than just to like continue to hate for like years about shit that will eventually fade away. So why bother, I guess. Also, hello Puck. And think about how much worse it is. Like, people, yeah, no, this is so much to fucking manage. Talk to someone about a collab they probably previously talked about. Yeah. So basically, I also had like 4 years ago, like it was my only bad VTuber experience, right? But 4 years ago, I had this dude who I thought we were friends, and you know, we hang out like a bit, and so, you know, I thought we were cool. But then I just asked him, like, you know, I asked him on Discord, you know, are we hanging out today? And he said, yeah, maybe. And then like a day later, I just wanted to check because, like, you know, 15, you know, I was watching his stream, and you know, 15 people aren't gonna care, right? So I messaged him, you know, hey, you know, are we still on for today, etc. And then he didn't text me or anything. Instead, he made a Twitter post, not mentioning me but calling me out for it, saying like, hold on, let me go find it real fast. It's like, it's just, I don't know, dude. It's like, to me, it's a case of yeah, vague posting, but it's a case of like a mix of egotistical and clout farming, essentially. So he says, I quote, "Don't go into someone's chat and talk about plans you have with the streamer that you actually haven't made, question mark, and then ask him out on the spot, and then ask him on the spot about it, question mark. Do you know how unfair it is to the streamer? Dude, oh my fucking god." And then another post, he says, "Dealing with this personally, it puts so much stress on me that I dodged the question, but still, don't do this." And it got 100 likes, by the way. And then someone else said that, someone else said, "People do that? That's so scummy, what the hell?" And he replied, "Sadly, yeah, they do. I had to deal with it earlier, and it wasn't fun, lol. Luckily, that's what we got the block button for." I don't know, dude. I just hate shitty people like that. I mean, he graduated, so who gives a fuck? But like, yeah, just that sort of like scarred me from making friends with VTubers, if that makes sense. It's just fucked. I don't know. You never know what kind of people you will meet in the VTuber scene, and a lot of them, I noticed, like, there's a lot of like mean girl stories. Like a lot of popular VTubers are sort of like in the mean girl vibe. At least I heard that. I can't like really talk about any of it, but that's just what I heard. So it's not so fetch, yeah. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. Makes you appreciate the real homies. Yeah, I mean, Leaf told me that Lily, she's had friends, quote friends, in her past that basically she did the same thing she's doing to me now. She helped them out and she helped them grow substantially more, like huge even. And they, at the end, they will just drop her and that's it. Like, just, I don't understand those people. I really don't. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I mean, if you have a friend who's supporting you, who's literally bringing you up from nothing, I would utterly, I mean, I utterly appreciate Leaf every fucking night, because her rating me with 500 to 1,000 people would go for that. So many people would just, oh my god, dude. Like, again, but I just don't want to use, I never want to use anyone, you know. Yeah, they only care about themselves, pretty much. And sadly, there's so many VTubers that only care about themselves, that only use others as stepping stones, and will drop you as soon as you're not useful. And Leaf told me that, so I'd message probably 100, like hundreds of people, right, on Twitter, like VTubers and stuff, mutuals, etc. Just saying hi and just, you know, trying to make a friend. But essentially, I would get only one message back or entirely ghosted. Hold on, give me a second. People should appreciate those who help them out like that. Real. Yeah, a friend is overused word by many. True friends are basically family. Real. I came here after hearing your fanboy. Yeah, I was just talking about, and Hikaru, feel free to vouch on this if you had any experiences like this. But so many VTubers, I feel like, will use you for your size, etc. Like, as soon as you're, you know, because so Leaflet, she's been rating me every night with 500 to 1,000 people, right? And I never want to use her for that, because so many VTubers in the whole scene just use other VTubers as stepping stones, and as soon as you're useless to them, they will just drop you, or just backstab you, or talk shit about you. It's like high school level bullshit, man. I don't understand. Because Leaf said she's had so many people that she helped out in the past grow from nothing, and they will just backstab her, essentially. It's bit complicated, so you can't know. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can go with the kindest intentions. You think you know someone, but by the end of it, they just kind of backstab you. I mean, I had that firsthand, where it wasn't like a VTuber, but it was a VR chat group where I spent every day with them for like 5 months, and then I kind of just got stabbed in the back, and I thought I knew these people, but nope, not at all, I guess. So I don't know, dude. It's so hard to like know who's an actual true friend, since you never know what people's true intentions are, essentially. The biggest ones to worry about in your area are Anna Valens. I never heard of that VTuber. And Yara and their followers. They did a smear attack using Vice on Kirsch, and made her leave her home because of the death threats. What? Those freaks have it out for Leaf now and will come after you at some point? Oh god. Okay, see, I know that like other freaks are gonna attack me and Rana solely because me and Rana associate with Leaf. There's nothing else. That is the only reason people will attack us. And it hasn't happened yet, but eventually it's gonna happen. Forward to defend. But yeah. I never understood viewbotting, because like, look at this shit. I mean, you can clearly tell this is not what numbers look like. It's not a sudden 0 to 60 instantly, dude. It does not work like that. Like, here, hold on. So what a normal graph is supposed to look like is something like this. Okay, that's a raid. Hold on. But yeah, you can see people stay. It gradually grows and stays. Like, some people come and go, but yeah, you guys can see a lot of VTuber graphs Like what okay, what VTubers? Because I saw one case of viewbotting. I don't know name names. Okay, yeah, I mean the big ones, yeah, definitely. But I saw one case of viewbotting. I don't know if she like actually knows it, but she had like it said Twitch numbers. She had like 200 people. It said she had 200 viewers, but okay, I use an app which says the actual view count. So for example, right now it says Twitch says there's 31 when there's actually 45 of you. It is stupid as fuck. Twitch is actively hurting me, bro. Okay, now it's 38. All right, now it's fine. But yeah, it doesn't count. Okay, so for example, Twitch said this person had 200 views, right? When I viewed the actual number, and it was like 98. So, you know, that's the way you can also tell if a person is botting. But yeah, I'd rather work hard for my numbers, and like I've been, you know, Hikaru can attest to this. I've been trying to just build something for 6 years now, and ever since October, ever since Leaf has been raiding me, I just now feel like I'm growing, and I really appreciate it. Don't talk bad about them, waste, you know it. Yeah, it's I never got viewbotting. Like people can tell. Some VTubers viewbot though. That's what I heard anyway. Okay, but anyways, let's watch this insane video. So yeah, this dude viewbots, harasses people, makes fake accounts to like start drama with himself. So
Over this, yeah, no, people have completely gone offline, and it's a shame.
Also, like, this dude, Hikaru, this guy, FalterXV, has like committed or has drove 3 separate people to suicide, and it is confirmed. Like they can find their actual obituaries. It is fucking insane. Like, oh my god.
Like Rep and I, for example, we were good friends.
I feel
like,
so
if
bad.
Rep came back, I'd welcome them back with open arms. We didn't have a falling out or anything. It's just Rep is so frustrated with Falter, he doesn't want to fucking deal with it anymore. In that regards, yeah, I've lost a lot of people. There's a lot of people I know who've gone completely offline because of him. You know, I can think of 5 off the top of my head.
Yeah, but if you had to put a number on how many people,
yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Well over 100.
I mean, and this is like 6 months ago, right? And I looked on his Twitter, and he's still doing all this like fake drama and shit. I don't know why. I mean, I know any publicity is good publicity, but if you're not getting any publicity, even from like fake hate posts and shit, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, like well over 100, 100%.
And when Noobster, one of Flip's close friends, and someone that also had a legal case with Falter, and was helping document all the actions that he had done, including the 90+ page document on him, Noobster in April 2025, at the young age of 22, would unfortunately get into an accident and did not survive it. And upon hearing about this, Falter would express no remorse, no empathy, and in fact would take advantage of this to finally get rid of the 90+ page document, because Noobster was the owner of the Google Drive and now could not counter any copyright claim to take it down. And according to Flip, he would also try to attempt to get his accounts taken down as well, as he's done with so many of his other victims, and he still occasionally makes tweets about him.
Yeah, because Noob's gone. I mean, after Noob died,
Wow.
One, Noob and I were like really good friends, so I was fucking shocked to hear that. But also like him dying aside, like he had so much information on everything, man. I mean, so much, and I don't feel right. Even
just leave
like
it.
Yeah, like he needs to like I don't want to just leave it because Noob put so much time into this. Like, Noob cared about this a lot. Noob wanted to see Falter brought to justice because of everything that Falter did. And there's not much I can do for Noob. Like,
Yeah.
at all. I mean, there's nothing more I can do. But I can fucking fight this. And, you know, both for myself and for him, I think it's the right thing to do is to try to keep fighting this until we get some sort of resolution. You know, protecting my own copyright aside, this is what Noob wanted. The last time we talked, Noob wanted me to keep fighting this.
It's honestly surprising how many people this person has affected. And I only know of a small amount of them. There could be so many more, and nothing serious has been done about it. Yes, he got banned at one point from submitting YouTube DMCAs, but he got around that pretty quickly. And yes, with the copyright board, he did get banned, but when they found out he tried to do the same thing with somebody else's identity, they just slapped another year on said ban. Nothing has been done by platforms, even though people like Flip have been contacting them to try and make them aware, which seems all but useless, especially with Discord for some reason. Like, he actually copyrighted a message.
It's the images in the messages, Google images, stuff like that. See, I believe. I'm not sure because, fun fact, Discord still hasn't showed me what he DMCA'd, which is illegal. And I've repeatedly messaged Discord, hey, dumb fucks, you gotta show me what he DMCA'd. You know what they still haven't fucking done? And we're talking about a year later for some of these? I still not seen what he has DMCA'd on my account. And Discord will not fucking tell me.
So
But
weird.
there is a bit of hope, because not only is he supposed to appear in court with Vtuber Explained very soon, admittedly only for a copyright dispute, but he has also been served by Flip. No, he didn't pull a sick move in the middle of the street. As of September, legal documents were placed in Falter's hands at his residence after trying to avoid them for months. In previous attempts, he said that the person on the document wasn't him, or they got the wrong house. I was actually doing air quotations there if you couldn't tell. But confirmed by the sheriff along with the description of him, it was in fact Falter, and he was served and eventually will have to appear in court with Flip for the damages he's done. At least to Flip and only for the copyright, and if he loses he will have to pay Flip.
This is the longest stretch that I haven't been DMCA'd by him in a while. It's been like, I think a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But even then, I think the reason why he's not is he just got served by me. He avoided service on my other case because this isn't the first time I filed. The other case,
He avoided service.
he lied to the server over and over again, and then when the sheriff tried to serve him, it was too late because he had taken so much time lying to the server.
Oh, on your other case.
Yeah. So this is the new case, which is for the exact same thing. But I also added misrepresentation in there, so I can also ding him for that. It's for copyright and misrepresentation under the DMCA, both.
Okay, so what's like the worst thing that can happen to him if that goes through?
He'll pay me money. That's really the worst thing that will happen.
Also, I realize I'm typing a lot in the background. No, I'm not playing a game of League of Legends. I'm just simply writing down notes because we called for a long time. Now, for all he's done, even if Flip does win, it still won't repair all the damages Falter has done to him fully and other people, and it doesn't fully stop him from harassing others. As Flip said, he genuinely needs his internet access revoked, especially with how much damage he has done. And platforms need to prevent him from doing these fraudulent takedowns and blatant harassment. However, whilst it may not be a proper conclusion, it's something. Hopefully he will be held somewhat accountable in this instance, and hopefully it's a step in a good direction.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my god, dude, this is fucking insane. Like oh, dude, that is terrifying. Hello, Nami, welcome in. Like, I don't get what makes you into like into just a bad person like this. It's so sad.